Training Committee, trainingdemocrats.org. Kelly Dietrich. Kelly, how are you? Happy New Year to you.
Hey, man. Good morning. Happy New Year. I'm doing well. I'm cold, but I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm fine. So wait, you're cold. What part of the country are you in right now?
We're in Chicago, man.
Oh
We've got
God.
we've got a
Oh.
lot of snow here.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's rough. How much snow did y'all get in Chicago?
Oh, I live pretty close to the lake, so we got about 8-9 inches where I am.
Okay. Wow. That's no joke right there. No joke.
Yeah. It wasn't a dusting. We got some good snow, but there's plenty more around the country that got worse than us.
Yeah, of course. Well, we didn't get snow here. It's just about 2 degrees outside in New York, so that's
Oof.
uh, that's
Oof.
uh, that's bad enough. Well, man. First of all, how did the National Democratic Training Committee do? Have you all had a chance to assess your success from
We have.
2018?
Hey, thanks for asking. Yeah, we had an amazing 2018, bigger than I could ever have hoped for. We had more than 170 candidates confirmed wins in 36 different states around the country,
Wow.
which is huge for a first-time organization like ours. And all of that is reliant upon people telling us, right? So we haven't lost any momentum. We want to do 2019 bigger and better. People have asked me, do I think that the momentum behind the Democrats has waned or has lapsed? And everything we're seeing is a big fat no, Mark. It is carrying on. I think this blue wave might be bigger in 20 than it was in 18. And I
Really?
say that for two reasons.
Okay.
The first is we did our very first campaign training for candidates in Indianapolis, Indiana, about 2 weeks ago. We had
Okay. Already.
300 people register. 300. We had to turn off registration and create a wait list because we had too many people trying to show up for this.
Really?
It's incredible. The enthusiasm hasn't stopped amongst the base, and it's really cool. It's inspiring.
That's outstanding. So you think this enthusiasm is just going to carry right over, huh?
I absolutely do. I don't think amongst the base it's stopped. We have a program that started at the beginning of January called the 30-Day Challenge, and for anyone who's thinking about running in 2019, 2020, and everyone listening to this program, if you want to run, we can help you at traindemocrats.org. If you know someone who should run, tell them about us. We provide free training and tools for everyone. And we're going to run this program again here in a couple of months, but at the start of January, anyone who signed up for our 30-day challenge gets one email a day for 30 days about things that they can do, consider, prepare, to figure out if running for office is for them. Mark, we had more than 800 people register for that program. 800 people who said that I'm thinking about running in 2019. And we didn't spread it far and wide. We sent it out to our list, a couple of partner lists. So we're going to do it up bigger and better later this year.
That's outstanding. So more people thinking about running for office.
Yep.
And obviously too, we're not just talking about national office, we're talking about state office as well, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about state office. We're talking about local office, city council, school
Right,
board,
right.
local judge, sheriff if it's elected in your area. It doesn't matter what the office is. We want to help Democrats be able to run and be able to win, man.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we need. So this is great news, great news. Congratulations on your success and the success of the institute in 2018. So you've actually written a piece at Daily Kos, haven't you, about this crazy shutdown?
I did. I got a little fired up, a little fed up. My wife was like, "Why don't you just write something about it?" So I did, and look, this is extortion. We can call this a negotiation.
Yeah.
The shutdown is an extortion by the president to get a campaign promise that I thought Mexico was supposed to pay for this, but he's not. This isn't a negotiation. This isn't coming to a table and giving each side what's the quote? Legislation is the compromise is where we both walk away unsatisfied.
Right.
That's not this. This is give me the wall, give me the money, or else. And I was reading this morning, what are we, day 33? 800,000 workers about to go without a second paycheck. That's just morally wrong.
It certainly is. You know what I predict though. I think
What's that?
that they're trying to come up with a solution, Kelly, because he wants to profile and sashay on in the Capitol next week. See, I think we're gonna see right now who's gonna blink. He's got to choose whether or not the wall is more important than his TV time on Tuesday. And if they end the shutdown this week, he can give his State of the Union at the Capitol next week.
That's a good point, Mark. I wouldn't doubt that for an instant that is on his mind, and I actually love that the speaker put the screws to him on that.
Yeah, I know. And the main. It's interesting how the mainstream still wants to be critical of us. And you alluded to it. People saying there's enthusiasm. No, it's not. Enthusiasm isn't down, but it's as if the mainstream wants to. The mainstream media, that is, wants to criticize her when I think she's winning the debate and the argument. She's in charge, and she's taking a principled position. She's saying that it is wrong to expect people to come up here and provide security and protection when they're not even being paid, right? So he can give his speech.
Absolutely.
So if he sells out and says, okay, let's cut a deal and I'll let the border wall go for a few more weeks so I can go to the Capitol, then we know how hollow everything is about him. Because it's all about his own promotion, his own propaganda, and trust. He wants to give that speech from the well of the Capitol. His ego will not allow him to go and give it somewhere else in some rural location, because it will mean that she's in charge and that the legislature is actually an equal branch of government, and he doesn't want to acknowledge that.
No, I completely agree. And even if he goes and gives it somewhere else, it's not a State of the Union. It's a partisan campaign rally.
That's right.
At that point, it's just pure propaganda. At that point, he can deliver a State of the Union in written form, which was the standard for quite a long time.
That's right.
This whole thing, he has no way out. There's no win for him other than getting money for his wall. Otherwise, he's going to look like he buckled and he backed himself into this own situation.
Yeah.
And you can't negotiate with a terrorist, with an extortionist like this. I mean, we had a deal. He's had it on his desk. A majority of Republicans and Democrats in the House and the Senate passed it, put it on his desk, and he said no. Right? I mean, that's why we're here, is because bipartisan legislation, which was passed, which, I don't think anyone in my Democratic friends would have said it was ideal, but it was passed, got to his desk, and he said, no, I'm going to take my ball and go home. You can't negotiate with someone like this. It's just pure extortion.
Well, I agree with you. And I just saw Sherrod Brown on MSNBC, and he was saying if you give in to this, then he'll continue to shut the government down over everything else.
It's so true. I have a 5-year-old, Mark. If I give in every time she decides that she wants candy before dinner,
right,
she's going to learn that behavior works.
Yeah.
Right. And I can't believe I have to use that analogy with the president of the United States.
Yeah.
But it's kind of apt.
It is. No, it most certainly is. You believe the Democrats are handling this well?
I do. I mean, look, this is a tough situation. There's always things we can do better, but I am impressed by Speaker Pelosi. I'm impressed by the unity of the caucus so far, staying disciplined, staying together on message, on votes. I have been. It's a tough situation. At the end of the day, those of us who pay attention to politics, Mark, you, me, the other Democrats, we're going to think our side came out, looking better. Republicans are going to have theirs. But those independents, people who aren't paying attention to politics, unfortunately, I think they're just going to be like, forget it all. They're all corrupt. They can't even run the government. It makes us all look bad. And
Right.
it's just because one guy didn't get his way, and now he's taking his ball and going home. And there's real repercussions. There's people out there with mortgages and cars and families who just want to go to work and can't.
Yeah, yeah. And it's really demoralizing, and it shows just how little he prioritizes them. Um,
Yeah,
in your piece in Daily,
demoralizing is the right word.
your piece in Daily Coast, the cause and solution to the shutdown, politics. Kelly Dietrich with his folks, 20 minutes past the hour. You cite some of the politics, and you talk about the New Mexico Commissioner of Public Lands. Tell that story, if you would, to our audience, Kelly.
Yeah, look, the point about the New Mexico Commissioner of Lands and the reason we need more Democrats to run for office is that local offices can make a difference, right? You want to
Right.
fight a border wall. Well, right now you can't be president of the United States, and we've got 83 people lined up who are gonna try to do that in 2020. But you could run for local office,
Hmm.
right? Think about some of the tactics that Republicans put in place around anti-choice measures, right? If you can't change the legislation, if you can't change the law of the land that Roe v. Wade allows abortion, they have taken to running for city council and changing the building codes for any medical clinic so that abortion clinics have to close because they don't meet the standards of the community. Well, the same holds true with the border wall. You want to bring a border wall through here, through my state, through my community. We have local jurisdictions, local laws that can prevent those types of things being implemented, right? And it's not just the wall and the shutdown. We need people at every level of government standing up and making a difference. I know there's a lot of people listening out there who are frustrated, who are pissed off, who are angry, who want to do something. We need people to run for office, and it's not just the big sexy ones. It's not just Congress and president and senator or governor. It's city council. It's school board. Right?
I'm
I
glad you
mentioned
cleared that up.
sheriff
I'm glad you
before.
cleared that up. I thought maybe you meant big sexy people. It didn't have to be big sexy
Yeah.
people, but go ahead. which is true too. I was
True
talking
too.
to people. Some people think that they have to literally be a Barack Obama.
Right.
But I said, people, example I draw upon is Ralph down in Virginia, ran for governor.
Yeah.
He's really a regular dude. And
Yeah.
everybody is not Mr. Charisma. Okay? Everybody is not Ryan Seacrest. So,
Yep.
we need some everyday people. We don't need, entertainer, you know, uh, uh, um, uh, uh, central casting in all situations.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not just the big sexy titles, but we don't need necessarily everybody to be, big and sexy, the sexiest person, you know, alive to run for office, right?
Absolutely. No, you know what we need, Mark? We need workers. We need people who are going to show up and work and fight. That's what we need. We don't. You're exactly right. You don't have to be Barack Obama. You got to be willing to work. Is what you got to be able to do. You got to be able to stand up for what you believe in, care about the people. It's public service.
Right.
It's meant to be for the good of the community, the good of us all.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to do every day, man, is just lower that barrier of entry, motivate people, empower people, get people out there. This doesn't have to be something that it's only available to the entitled few, the privileged few.
You're right. And as you talk about what's happening down in New Mexico, that's someone who is that's not a big sexy title or position.
No,
But you see the influence that it has in this border wall situation.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And those little offices make a big, big difference. You want to help fight climate change? Fantastic. Get your city council, get your county board to start implementing regulations and laws that facilitate adoption of better, greener policies in your community.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, we're doing that here in Chicago. Thank God we've got a Democratic governor now. We can implement it across the state. This is the way our government works. It's the people who show up get to legislate.
That's right. And that's what we've got to do is show up. 866 series 866-997-4748. Let's get a quick call in. Charles is in Virginia. Charles, God bless you. Good morning. Get woke. Get ready for impeachment. You're on with Kelly Dietrich of the National Democratic Training Committee. Trainingdemocrats.org. Go right ahead.
Good morning, Mark, and I would just like to thank you and the people you bring on your show to enlighten us. And I'm calling from the great state of Virginia, where when we vote, we win. I have a question. My question is, if this shutdown continues on and on and on, down the line, I'm hearing things that like the insurance companies for healthcare, they're going to start dropping people because they're not receiving the premiums that are coming out of people's paycheck to pay those premiums, and they're going to start dropping people. Is that something that could happen, or is that something that will happen, or is that something that is happening right now? And I'll take your answer off the air, but I want to thank you and all your people that put your show on every day and enlighten us and educates us, because that's what we need. We need information.
So
Information
where
is
did you
power.
hear this?
Uh, Actually, one of my coworkers, I work for the postal service, so I'm blessed that I am being paid. I can't go to the doctor. I can't feed my family.
Okay.
But my neighbors are people who work for the government that have been furloughed. Some of them are contract workers that we don't talk about that much. They're not going to get that money back whenever this here silliness is over. That money is just gone. So they're going to have to probably go to some of their 401ks and take penalties for drawing that money out to pay their back mortgage payments and back car payments and back dental bills. And they're going to be taking penalties for messing with that money. We don't talk about these things. These Republicans, they come on and give us that old hoodwink, bamboozle type talk and talking about the Dems and all this here, but they're not telling you Republicans what is going to happen to you people who voted
Have
for this clown.
Have you heard anything like that, Kelly, about insurance companies and how they're going to deal with this shutdown and cutting people off?
It's a great question. I have not heard anything. I haven't heard this rumor about health insurance companies, but the caller brings up a great point. The contractors don't have the protections that are afforded to government workers, and I have to assume that contractors, when you miss a payment, whether it's your mortgage payment, your health insurance payment, there are repercussions. The company on the other end of that isn't going, oh, well, Donald Trump shut it down. We'll be real lenient. We understand, right? They're not extending that privilege to federal contractors. And so there are, like I said, there are real repercussions. These are real people, real families going to be hurt. And, there are consequences to be paid when you can't pay your bills.
Yeah. All right then. Thank you for your call, Charles. This
Thank
is
you,
this
Mark.
is affecting everyone. So, folks, so tell us once again, Kelly, about the 30-day challenge.
So, we started the 30-day challenge. It started January. We'll have it back up the start of March. But right now, you can come to traindemocrats.org. If you're thinking about running for office, you want to learn more about running for office, you come to the site, click Get Trained, and one of the first options up there will be So You Think You Want to Run. It's an online course. It'll take you less than 30 minutes. It's some videos. We've got a couple worksheets, questions that can help you answer and just give you some direction. Figure out if this is for you, and if so, what office might be the best for you. We're happy to take anyone and everyone who wants to check it out. We answer questions on there, so it's interactive. You can ask them to our staff, our team, other people in the community, and you're not alone. There are thousands of Democrats around the country thinking about this, running every year. We need more of them.
Yeah, folks, traindemocrats.org, traindemocrats.org, and seriously consider it. I mean, this is our time. This is our hour. And again, you don't have to run for Congress or the Senate. There are local and state offices where we need people. We need to take that even more seriously. Kelly Dietrich, our guest. Don't forget to read his latest at Daily Kos about the shutdown that I'm glad his wife told him go ahead and write. Uh, you know.
She's glad to.
Yeah. And listen, man, you and I still need to figure out a way to bump into each other and get together offline, man. I think we
I was
could.
just bringing that up. I'll be in New York here in the next couple of months, and we
Come
are
on, man.
trying to get some trainings on the schedule up there in the Northeast. When we do, I got to have you. You should come to one of these.
Please do. But listen, give me plenty of notice so we can plan something and get together
Absolutely.
and maybe even do something on the show and do all of that. So please, yes, let's do that. All right.
Sounds good, man.
Thank you,
Stay
Kelly.
warm.
All right, you too, man. Take care now. Kelly